So as always, we're about to have a lot of opinions today, and we know you are as well. So hop over to goldenskate.com so you can keep the TSL discussion going in the this and that thread. goldenskate.com.
Hello and welcome to the skating lesson. I'm Jennifer Kirk.
Здравствуйте, добро пожаловать в горния катание урок. Сука, пожалуйста. And I'm Dave Lees, and welcome to the Cup of Russia Sectionals Tallinn Estonia event. We are so excited, have so much to talk about. So let's get started, Jenny.
Well, let's start with Puritan from last week. So we still don't know what the ISU is going to do in terms of the points and who's going to the final and whatnot. But we went off of the short program, which is kind of how the event seemed to have gone. So we want to say parabens, congratulations to James Harrison. He predicted 3 out of the 4 gold medalists in the event. He was Team Rosano. Doug Rosano also won last week. Team Dave Lees, which was not a good pick because Team Jenny...
And I don't think a good pick this week either.
Yeah, so I think I got like 3, right? You know what? I have like mental blocks against Canada and Russia. I just know going in those 2 events, they're not my events.
Would you rather go to Nations Cup?
Oh, yeah. I would rather get beaten by
China like Madison Chalk. Oh yeah.
I'd rather get beaten by Angela Nikitinov doing 3 triples when I do all 7. Like, let's go back to 2002, honey. He got the top 4 in dance, and Jessica Pappas is our overall winner at this point. I'm in second. Like, I don't know. This is all luck, people, but I don't think after this week, but hopefully be able to come back in NHK. Next week, we have a new prize pack you guys can play for. It's everything kind of like sensual, to get us in the mood.
For Russian ice dance, when you're watching Elena Ilyinik and you want some sensual oils all over your body, it's like, yes, honey. I mean, it's ice dance, Jenny. It's sensual. There's some bubble bath and some
we love our bubble
male
bath.
Exotic herbs. Sexual chocolate. I mean, it's fun for the whole family. Yeah.
A nice little holiday gift. Also, this past week, we want to say thank you for everyone who donated to our GoFundMe. We're almost there, you guys. We just need a little bit more help, so we'll probably be doing that again this week for a couple more points. Dave and I have some, again, great interviews that we have lined up that we want to do on the East Coast, and then, of course, going to Nationals and hopefully seeing so many of you there. So if you're able to donate, every single donation counts, so we really, really appreciate that. So thank you.
Yes, thank you. As Ty Babylon would say, gratitude. Really.
Hashtag gratitude.
Hashtag gratitude. Yes. All right, so let's go into the ladies, Jenny. Let's talk about skating. There's so much to talk about. I'm so excited. And I do have to just explain. So my neighbor upstairs, Luba Abramsky, she is from Kiev, and so she's not a skating fan. So I took the laptop upstairs and I was like, what is Tarasova saying? So she didn't realize during Ross Minor's program that she was still talking about Adam Rapon. So we got a very dramatic email from Anna. People, this is figure skating. This is not brain surgery. We are not saving any lives here. We're making you laugh. But so Tarasova is very mad that Adam Rapon lost to some of the men, and we can go into this later, but I just wanted to explain. But my neighbor has now helped us learn all of these new Russian phrases, like when Tarasova is watching Sotnikova, and she'll be like, "Сделано, сделано," which means well done, which I really felt watching Carly Gold last night. Or if you want someone to not fall down, you yell "Стоять," which means stay. So Tarasova had a lot of passion if you were watching the Russian feed like I was. So let's talk about our ladies.
Yes, because this was kind of like mini Russian nationals. I mean, Russia knows to send their best ladies to this event if they want to get up there. 1, 2, 3. Radionova coming back after kind of a tough...
Is she your daughter again?
I don't feel that emotional attachment to her this season. I'm kind of more Team Medvedeva this season. It's that long program. I just can't. It was a great skate. I mean, the technical content was there on both performances. Very consistent. She actually lost the long program to Medvedeva. But
she was my daughter first. During the Olympic year, during the Junior Grand Prix, I liked her.
Yeah, she's really, really gritty. But I just feel like with Radionova, the program, it's hard to get behind that, and it just shows all of the sloppiness in her skating. She received some 9s for her PCS, particularly for performance execution, which, she does give a performance, but I love
Cup of Russia. I mean, I know that Russia doesn't determine the judging panel list, but they do seem to have the ISU by the balls for the Grand Prix final because they have all the votes, as we remember. So I loved in the men's event that there was the Russian judge, and then the Israeli judge was next to the Russian judge, but his name was Alexei, and he lives likely in Moscow. So I enjoyed the whole event. When you see those nines come up, I love Cup of Russia. Like, the thing I like about it is that they don't get afraid of putting their top girls against one another, and they'll make sure that they make the final anyway. So Alexa was trying to do her fantasy and thought that Kavaguti was going to win. And Delilah goes, no matter what, Stolbova will win so that she gets a 1 and a 4 and can make the final. And I'm like, well, then why don't we do the same thing, get our mojo back, put Ashley against Gracie in Skate America, get some butts in the seat, and have a really shady cameraman who was like our best friend.
I mean, when we talk about moment of the week, that was my moment of the week. Yeah, I just think with Radionova, I mean, it was great to see her. She obviously needs her coach. Like, there's some sort of emotional, she seems very, when her coach was ill and wasn't at the other event, like, she needs that, which I don't think is such a good thing. I almost think that at a certain point you can't be so dependent on
these girls have a lot of emotions, Jenny. They were skating like their political life in Russia depended on it. I mean, there was a lot of emotion at Cup of Russia.
And my favorite, too, was Lipnitskaya in the audience. Radionova was the only woman that she clapped for. She did not. Well,
she's friends with Radionova on Instagram. So, like,
the other girls are not so much.
Mishka and Radionova are friends on Instagram.
Yeah. The other ones are not. But I mean, Medvedeva, it's all about her this season. I like that she missed the lets and the short, and she just was like so gritty on that triple loop, and that long was phenomenal. Pause. They really need to work on her double axel. She needs to step up into that jump. I know with points you want to do 2 in your program, but she's gonna. It makes me a little bit worried. And her coach, she was kind of the coach of the weekend. That woman, she takes no, the shade. There was some shade there, but I'm not so happy after the
I love her.
I love
She's
her.
upgraded her fashion, and she's now very sensual, and she stands and watches her skaters.
Yes, and there's never a break in her face.
And, like, she doesn't even know where Lipnitskaya lives anymore, okay?
Oh, no,
like that.
She's gone.
Gone. Please, honey, wear that multicolored dress with someone else, okay?
Yeah.
So let's break it down lady by lady, because I first have to say that Rika Hongo was on my team, and she might be dead to me at this point.
I had her second.
I had her second.
Yeah,
dead.
But here's the thing. I don't think the judges are rewarding her PCS. Like, I do think she's giving it a little bit more, but she will never get the marks if she has even one mistake. She kind of reminds me of a Mickey Ondo, where it's like there's nothing too fantastic about her skating, but she'll put it all together once and or twice and have some great events.
So she is skinny and has a flex foot problem, and she's got some posture issues, and the flexy feet and the Adea skates are boxier, so they don't help that. They might help your jumps and skating, but aesthetically it can be kind of not my favorite. And I watch with her, I really notice that it's glaring, and the foot is just kind of dangle foot. She's got a little Hanyu boxy foot going on, and it's, for a lady skater, it's really inexcusable. She just made some mistakes. I thought the momentum was going to keep going. She's had such a solid season before, and it just looks like she showed up and these girls were ready to play, and she wasn't. It was a rough outing for her, and she screwed my fantasy.
Well, she really needed to have made that final, I think, because when you compare her to Satoko, it's really, I think at this point, or going into this event, it was kind of close between them heading into Japanese Nationals, where they're both consistent, they're both, they don't really have that one thing that really sets them apart. They're pretty good all-around skaters, but I think after this, this was not good for her not to medal here.
Not good. And this was really her moment. She needed to keep it going, and I think if Satoko comes out and does a decent job, she's going to be in big trouble going into Nationals.
Yeah, I think she probably won't be in one of those first 2 positions. But Sotnikova, the return.
Sotnikova. Oh my God. I love watching her. I don't know. I was not a big fan before. But
she was very emotional. Was that like happiness, sadness, relief?
Yeah. I mean, like when you've had injuries and you're not in shape and you get back, and I mean, it's amazing. But the one thing I love is that I know that everyone loves British Eurosport. And the reason why people love British Eurosport is because they pretend to like everyone and they say nothing critical, but they also are a little bit inaccurate. So when she does her triple flutz, triple toe in the beginning, and she half turn cheats it and under rotates it, they're like, oh, that was a great job. No, we have pause. there was an E. Even the ISU caller in Russia.
It wasn't the double carrot.
It was the double carrot, honey.
Yeah.
Like, you can't be saying that. And Tarasova was like, Zdilina, like, well done. Like, no, that was not.
I need to say something. I understand we applaud Olympic champions for coming back. And she's a good skater. I mean, I'm going to get hate. But she's good. What is, like, it's almost like they're reacting as if she's coming back from battling cancer. Like, it's like the return. We're so excited.
She was battling like the freshman 15, and we're like,
but
yes!
Like, it's good, you're back. It was an okay performance, okay showing. You're a great skater, but I don't understand. It was like,
I loved it. I was feeling the same thing. I don't know
why. I don't get it. Like, she had one great competition, and she came back, and now it's like she came back from the dead. Good, you're back. Mao's back. Like, great. We expect great things from you, but it's not like they died.
Russian people, you just don't feel things the way Tarasova does.
Apparently
I don't know.
Not.
I was really feeling that program to just be my lad. I love the whole thing. I love her at the boards like Nicole Bobek. And in my mind, this is how Nicole Bobek would have skated in 2000 if they let her go to nationals when the USFS was like, bye, Felicia, when she did that pro-am instead of going to sectionals. So I don't know. I just love watching her when she skates. She's trying to get those jumps. I think they'll give her some rhythmic gymnastics diuretics to get the last half turnaround before Russian nationals. I predict she will be on the world team. I think
that was my question. Do you think she's going to push?
She's going all the way. Honey, bye. Last year was your year. This is her year. Je suis malade all the way. I'm feeling it. I don't know. She did, and I love, so Tarasova will be very critical of people. And if you watch the Russian feed, she does a double flip, single toe, Jenny, crickets. No one says a word. Tarasova just ignores it like it didn't happen until later on after the program she mentions it. And then the fall on the double axel. Now, Phil Hirsch was very upset that she beat Paulina. And I want to know your opinion of this, because if you look at the protocol, the calls all seemed fair for both of them, so it came down to the components. So what is your opinion?
I don't think the calls for Paulina are fair. I don't see the under rotations on some of those jumps. I just don't think
I could see it in real time. Like, it was clear as day. And when you go and you watch the flip, half loop sow, it's like a little with her. And they're getting better. The Lutz was much better here, the Lutz toe, but she has to be so careful.
Well, it's when, like we talk about with Mariah, once you're put in that box, it's really hard to come out. I was watching Paulina this weekend and Nam as well, and trying to think, what is it about them that the judges just aren't responding to? And
they don't like.
One of the things is, and I don't know if it's the USA jacket because it's kind of like a fleece now, or if it's her sweater, but Paulina skates like she's at sectionals at these competitions. She still carries herself as a sectional skater. And she doesn't carry herself as a national champion or as an Olympian or as an Olympic medalist. What she wants to aspire to. And you have to act the part to make us believe it. And she goes out, and yes, the short, I could see more with her face, and I could see that she's kind of giving a little bit more. But there are moments where and Nam too, they do not use their body. And skaters need to realize the skating doesn't stop just at your legs. She needs to use everything. She needs to command our presence. And because she's so tall and statuesque on the ice, someone like Karolina Kostner owned her limbs. Like, she owns when she's skating.
And it was a stretch from the head.
Yes, you see when Karolina could do a back edge and just hold it with her leg up and carry it halfway across the ice. And
Paulina's leg is little bent, and then the foot isn't pointed. And it's what Ann Jensen said in the text. It's all the pretension of being a ballerina with what she chooses, without the hand stretched and the
and it's almost
fire your ballet teacher,
and it's almost like she's just not comfortable in her body yet. Like, she's not comfortable in it. She doesn't own all of her limbs. And it's also just something intangible that I don't see her and see this command. Like, when you step on the ice, when someone like Michelle stepped on the ice, silence in the arena. She just commanded your attention. And there are you talk about the X factor, and Paulina has all the elements needed to be a champion, but she doesn't. And I think she does in interviews, and I think she kind of believes it, but she doesn't bring it out when she performs. And without that, you're going to be a Rika Hongo. Rika Hongo doesn't have the X factor. Like, there needs to be something a little bit more. And she has the looks, she has the grace, but it's just, you need to start seeing yourself as that champion. And I don't know. It's weird because she
needs a different ballet teacher. She needs a modern dance teacher. She needs to move away from the mother. She needs to get her highlights. She needs to,
you say you must be bitch. She has that bitchy quality. But
Paulina, I believe that you're a bitch.
Bring it out. It's not even a bitchy quality she needs to bring out. It's more of like a command.
Yes, you need to command.
Like, I'm a woman and watch me.
Sasha Cohen face out there. Come on.
But even Sasha, sometimes she didn't completely have it because she didn't have what Paulina has. Paulina has what Michelle has, which is the ability to put it under pressure, which Sasha didn't have. But she doesn't have that, like, when she gets on the ice, there's no star quality.
Yeah, and it's going to hold her back. Because the judges are never going to care unless you develop that star quality.
You have to
you can have a
reawakening.
Yeah. You have to get the cute haircut. You have to stop wearing that dress that you're wearing for the free skate. You have to stop skating. Is she My Fair Lady or Gone with the Wind? Whatever it is, I hate it. I hate that one, and I think it's Gone with the Wind. Can't stand. And the dress is hideous. And the Moonlight Sonata edits are bad in the short, but she's trying to be good. And the one thing is that Tarasa was saying in the commentary is that when she skates, though she does have grace over the ice, you can hear her scratching on the toe picks. So that means she's a little nervous because I think that she does generally skate well, but she skates smaller. So she really needs to work on her skating skills. With the extension, every ounce of that program has to be owned and commanded, and she's just not getting the speed or the power, and then she has to work on her core to get those jumps around because it's really a struggle when you're that tall.
Well, and the thing is that skaters need to realize is the more that you kind of fake it and you use your body more, it will start to come. And I think she comes out and she may be scared in the big arena. The jumps get a little bit tighter and everything comes in a little bit more. And when you're so tall, you have to be extra extended, extra projection. Yeah, in that chest up, she skates hollow. And we want to see, she's a gorgeous girl. I don't think she needs to change the hair, the dress, maybe a little tweak here or there. But it's more about if she could just use her body a little bit more and just sell it. I mean, she has everything it takes. And we talk about it recap after recap, but it's time to kind of own it more.
And if it's skating skills that she's working on, I think she needs to work with someone else besides Rudy. He's so creative, he's so talented. Skating skills weren't his expertise, so I think she needs to bring someone else in the fold. I don't know if she's still with Klimova or what, but they need to really kind of figure out what's going to take her to the next level. I think she kind of needs to go away from college and kind of take command of her career because, her mom is involved in the coaching team. And if Paulina wants to be a champion, I think she has to decide for herself that this is what she wants to do, take command of it, and kind of move away from home and take charge of her life and her career if this is what she really wants to do and to win, because I think she's still being told what to do and she needs to take charge and kind of make that move.
We need to see who Paulina is. Does she really see herself as this gorgeous ballerina? And if so, become that ballerina. Let's talk about some of the men, though, because Javier winning here, really strong long program. Again, though, that third quad, he talked about in the press conference that this is the jump he really needs to get together. The short, a little bit of a struggle.
Quad toe? Why not repeat the quad toe? It looks like it's a better jump for him. It's become a really solid jump. I really liked the technique here. I thought it was good. I like the program, but he does have the same problem that the Italian ice dancers do, which is unforgivable. But where it's every program, yes, it's different music, and this year it is Guys and Dolls, and last year it was
Figaro.
It was Figaro, yeah. But the theme is happy, and it's just like, luck be a lady, but have a different mood.
It would have been better if he had done the long program for his short and his short for the long.
Yeah, I like the short a lot. I think Antonio Naharo is so talented. We're seeing another thing of Javi. And the one thing I think that Javi has that even Hanyu doesn't have is that Javi is a star. He's like a movie actor out there now on the ice with more confidence this season than last. He is, Hanyu's an athlete, but Javier is giving you star quality all over the place. He's light on his feet. It's just clicking and it's working. He still has room to grow with these programs, but I really I think that he has such a special quality on the ice where he really relates to the audience. And I think he does deserve the components he gets, especially for interpretation, because he connects and he makes skating more relevant and more accessible, I think, to the audience. I think that's what the sport has been missing since the IJS, is someone like Javier to really just be relatable.
Yeah, and I think one of his strengths is really that he's type B personality. I don't worry that he was going to let this world title freak him out. He seems like the kind of guy who'd be like, oh, I won. That's great. Okay. What's next? Like, it doesn't seem like he's so tense about that, or like we see with Tuktamisheva, like he's trying to prove himself. I want to skate well. I want to do a good job here. And I think that works so well for him, and it's going to bode very well for him at Worlds this year too. But Adian Pekayev, kind of the surprise of the competition, winning the short. He was fifth in the long. But he has all of the elements that I think someone that we're looking towards 2018 is going to have. I love his straight back. I like the long program, doing a nice quad toe here, missing the same axle that he missed at Skate America, though, unfortunately. The Eurosport guys did say one thing about them. They commented that he needed to have more face. They wanted him to bring some O to O. And I agree with that. I think he does skate a little bit stone-faced, but I love every other part of his skating. He's one of my favorites.
He has a beautiful body for skating. You just have to say it's a gorgeous vehicle, and I know that he has a different choreographer than Medvedeva, and I think this works. And I think if they can keep working along these lines, I think it really is going to bode well for him in his career.
Well, and the surprise kind of the event was Ross Minor coming in here to win a bronze medal. Really strong short program. He didn't try the quad in the short, but he did try the quad sound along, missing it, and also that second triple axel. But really strong on the triple triples, the performance quality. Could he make the world team after this? How surprising was this?
I mean, he stepped it up after Skate America. He did a good job here. And I think that Jason having a back issue, Adam being Adam, he's in it for nationals, for certainly. And I think it's going to come down to how is Nathan going to handle the pressure of senior nationals with the world team on the line. I think that Ross really has a chance to make something happen this year. He seems to be going in confidence. I still don't see him as good of a skater as some of the men above him, but he is consistent and he's landing his axles. So I think if he continues to do that, yeah, I mean, he's got as good of a chance as anyone, because at least he'll be reliable at Worlds and he won't implode.
Yeah, I don't yet feel like that consistency that we saw from him a few years ago is completely back. It seems like maybe adding the quad the last couple seasons and some rough skates at key outings have really kind of got to his core. And I think he just needs to shake that and go back to like, I can do a triple S triple toe. I can do these other triples really easily. His technique on his axle still scares me so much. He has that weird edge on the takeoff. But yeah, if he can land two great axles in a good short program, what I think we saw from Adam this week was that he doesn't have a consistent quad. I mean, the quadlets is not consistent, and sometimes the axles kind of scare me, but the judges love him. They love this long program. They like what he's doing this year in terms of his material. Do you agree?
No. You had the better Beatles medley.
And that's not saying much, in your opinion.
In my opinion. So one thing that Tarasa was saying about Adam in the short is that he looked like he had no energy, and he wasn't giving it, but she said that the music he skates to is so powerful, and I feel this for the long too. I don't feel that he has any connection to the music in the long. I mean, he's performing, but it's like it's a weird disjoint where Adam's such a musical person usually, but I don't feel like the music is going through his body as like one instrument. It's kind of like music's playing, he's dancing, but it's not all together. And I think the same with the short. And it kind of annoys me that everyone is skating to Who Wants to Live Forever, because it's kind of like the groan factor. You're really licking your lips today. I don't know what's going on here.
Guys, I'm so sick. I have like I've had food poisoning. I was in so much pain that I bit my lip down here. Like I cut here, and I'm just a mess. Yeah, I'm trying to like
something for Adam in that Beatles
No,
program.
I'm like trying to focus so hard and to be like with it and to not vomit up my red Gatorade.
Right, so Adam in the program. So Adam in the program, I think he needs to take the quad out of the short. At this point, he's only getting 3.9 points for it here, I believe, 3.9-ish, about maybe plus or minus 0.2 or something. But it was not 4 points. I know that, and I think it's time to move for the flip. I mean, I know that that's like a step down in how you're perceived, but he's missing points, and I'm worried about him for nationals. I'm worried about Adam making the world team because there are many guys. We saw it.
Even though he did so well here?
I'm nervous.
Okay.
I mean, Ross's spin got upgraded, and that gave Ross the medal here, which was a strange thing that happened after the event. It doesn't usually happen. But Adam, I just feel he did a good job, but I think Adam's one of those skaters like Ashley where if they have a mistake in the short, they're going to do a good long. If he did do a good short, I don't know if he would do a good long. And it's just one of those things where I don't know if we can really trust him yet, and I don't trust him with the quad Lutz. It's not a round in competition, and it's time where he's now losing points, and it's going to be a tough battle at nationals for those 3 spots. Like, yes, we have 3 spots, but there are some talented boys there, and even watching Vincent at regionals, there's a boy with a quad and 2 triple axels, and Adam might make the world team but plays lower, and and who knows how they're going to do components at nationals. But it just seems like it's going to be a tough battle out there, and I think Adam's a great skater, but I think he's on the bubble this year again, and I know he wants to be a world medalist, but I don't see the quad getting him there.
Well, you think about guys like Vincent and them, and then also Nathan, they do quads so easily, and they're both going to be senior, and hopefully they're both healthy this year at nationals. And then we see Max this past weekend skating really well, and those are the guys that, I mean, it's consistency and it's putting it together. And I think
Vincent's too young. Yeah, Vincent's
too young. But I mean, like, that they're going to be the future, and that they're going to probably, if they put it together and someone like Adam isn't able to do a quad in either program, he may be looking at a 4th or 5th place finish, even if he could then go on to the world team. I think it's right for them to take it out of the short program. He can try it in the long as everything else is really good and solid, and he's doing both of those axles, because people respond to the program, whether or not you love it, and I don't quite love the short program material. I don't love the costume with the hair. It's just a little bit much for me. But I think the fact that the audience is going to respond to it, it will help him. But I agree. I would think take the quad out of the short program, just because it's not quite there
much
yet.
This year. The music is much. The costume is much. It's a lot of like projecting and not showing who you really are. It's like a lot of affectations that I don't think that Adam needs, because I think he has a beautiful line.
And he loved his long last year. That was pure Adam.
Yeah, and I regret not wanting to do the same thing every year, but I feel like he's trying so hard. But I almost think he needs to go back to basics, work on the crossovers, work on the skating skills, and really just go, get the quads, yes, but get the skating first, and make sure that you're getting 9s for components, regardless of how you do, because he has the body, but maybe not necessarily some of the edge work to get it. He could do it. It's just, it comes from the skating. I think it would make his quads easier. And I think it's also hard. Raphael wasn't at this event with him, and Raphael had 2 students here. And he sent his wife here. He had a student at sectionals, but I believe Raphael was home with Ashley. Maybe Raphael was in sectionals, but it was the weird way to do it. This is an international event. Why wasn't Raphael there with him? That has to play on your confidence as well. And obviously, having the whole, not that it's Ross that beat him, but just that anyone, to lose the bronze like that after such a great skate in the free. But I just don't think that Adam is set up as well as he could be. And then Tarasova and the commentator were really rude to him. So that's what they were talking about during Ross's, is that Tarasova was saying that a program without a quad is a ladies program. And then they went on to list the ladies that couldn't compete with Adam and Ross, saying that they would do really well in the ladies event, but Ashley and Paulina couldn't compete with them. But they were shade, and then the guy said that he skates like a lady, but it's Adam, so he's allowed to. So the guy was actually like even ruder than what I said on Twitter, but they were talking about Adam during Ross's program.
So Ross, you're okay, but Adam, you're not okay. Never mind.
Adam, you're not. And apparently Ross would do really well in the ladies event. Adam might struggle a bit, but Paulina and Ashley, they couldn't touch it. But they were very upset because Koliana wasn't ahead of them. And this is what I get annoyed with some of the comments that maybe Plushenko will make or sometime, is that, and I get, like, yes, a quad is very important for men's skating to keep pushing the sport forward, But it was really close here, and he lost on components. So I don't think that doing a quad automatically means that you win.
Yeah, just because you do a quad doesn't bump you up to 8s, you know?
Yeah, like it doesn't. And he lost, like, Adam won in components over him by, I think, 3 points, but it was so close. The ranking shift, and that's kind of like how it ended, and that's why she was so upset during Ross Minor and during Adam's skates. But the thing is Kolyada he has a good program to Nightmare Before Christmas, but the thing is that sometimes with some of the Russian skaters, the back can be hunched the whole time. And the thing is that musicality, I really believe, comes through your spine. When you feel music, it's your head, it's how you feel it. You have to let your body pulsate. And when you skate a little bit forward, it doesn't allow yourself to really interpret the music at the same way. He had a good program, not a great program, but he's a talented skater. But I mean, to be upset that Voronov was behind him, I don't agree or understand there.
And I think with Kolyada, I love his back when he lands his jumps. He has really nice posture, really great spins. But I think
gorgeous triple axels.
Yeah, like the flow coming into and out of his jumps. But I think sometimes too, when the choreography enhances kind of the weird music and the choreography, like
it's on purpose.
Yeah, it's on purpose, but it doesn't mean that you're a better skater, you know? It kind of goes back to the Megan and Eric when they tried to do the Alice in Wonderland. Sometimes it actually accentuates what's already kind of an issue with your skating, and I don't think that that's kind of the way for some of these guys to go.
I am a gymnastics judge, and this guy, one of the Valkanos is a very talented choreographer at UCLA, but if a girl can't, like, point her feet, she'll have them do, like, modern dance with intentionally flexed feet, and this judge says that he's like, I know her tricks, and I'm looking at their feet on every salto, and to me, that's what I do in skating. If someone has the hunched over choreography and they're doing the Nightmare Before Christmas.
What are you hiding? Yeah.
What are you hiding?
Yeah, and I think that's kind of back to Javier. He can do so much more. Thankfully, we've been able to see that in his short programs the last couple of seasons. But it is getting a little bit with the long, like, we've seen it. Like, it's not that they're hiding anything, but you're better than this at some point.
And his forks are a little tight, too. Like, he seems like okay when his skaters make mistakes. Like, he's not furious. I mean, granted, his skaters do recover.
I'm sure he's just exhausted. He has so many skaters at these events. He's like, I'm just trying to get your name right, honey.
Yeah.
So. But let's talking about a Norris skater before we move on to the pairs. Let's talk about Nam a little bit, because this has been a very disappointing Grand Prix series for him. Again, I just need the long program. Tuck your shirt in. Get a new shirt. Don't wear... Oh, you okay there?
I spit out people.
I can't even watch anyone spit out. Like, I'm so nauseous.
I had a lemon seed. So I'm not drinking coffee anymore. I'm off. And I've been, like, back from my adrenal fatigue. Like Sotnikova, I am back and better than ever.
Heavens! Maybe that will
I got
next week.
acupuncture. I've been doing everything. Resting. I watched How to Get Away with Murder. Like, I have been in bed. Like, terrible. I had to leave work early. The thing is that I gave up caffeine completely, and I'm a caffeine addict. If anyone who knows me, so it's been rough. But Jillian told me that I need to drink hot water with lemon, ginger, and a little bit of honey. It's an acquired taste, but I'm saying
that's
it
like
is.
That cleanse. You know, the people.
Oh, it is a cleanse.
Yeah,
honey.
it's like supposed to be like you do that for like 7 days or something. Yeah, I haven't
feel like
had caffeine
the
either.
Gymnastics, like diuretics, that like I think they're going to give Sotnikova to get her ready for Worlds. Like I'm feeling good. I rotated my double sow yesterday. Like it was everything. Yeah. So yeah, but Nam. So Nam has a Shibutani problem, where Nam placed higher at Worlds than he should have in an ideal situation, but people made mistakes and he moved up. And I think then the judges have a panic where they're like, wait, there's a boy who's 5th in the world who has quads but can't skate, and now he's like ranked way higher. Are we going to give him the marks? Or are we going to kind of be harsher on him? And I think they're being harsh with Nam. But to me, he has the same problem that you have in ice dance, where it's, you can skate and do movements, but he doesn't really have choreography in between his programs. And even British Eurosport was saying that, and they love everybody. And they were saying he has choreography in the footwork, and that's it. But his skating doesn't say anything, and he doesn't have really strong edges or any edge quality or movements that says anything on the ice. So while he's gaining points, he doesn't do anything. He doesn't say anything as a skater, and I think he needs a point of view, something like, who are you? And I think he's still young and coming into this, but I think that's what they kind of have to figure out, who Nam is. You know, I hated the program last year with the running in place, and I know that he's fun, but at a certain point, fun is good for a junior, but for a man on the ice, it's kind of not what you want. Like, you need a personality out there, and you need some edge quality, and you need to stretch Nam, and you need to tuck your shirt in, and you need to get like I agree kind of that maybe he needs like one solid color or something. The costume is so wrong and it makes him look more boyish. Cut that choker off your damn neck. Like, it's just like he looks like he's going to the sophomore dance in high school. Like, this is Cup of Russia. Like, you need to show up ready to play. And I don't know, I think his skating, I think there's a lot that they really need to focus on and work on with him to get him to move up, because he's going to be always in hobby in their shadow, and I get that motivates him to do quads, but now he has to work on everything else about his skating.
All right, let's move on to some of the pairs. Tobulva and Klimov, though. Did you see a big difference here from their first event, Skate America?
I mean, yes, they showed up ready to go here to Cup of Russia, which I love, is that the Russians come ready to play for this event. And maybe they're pacing themselves to the season. They were not in any kind of shape before the first event. They are still so icy between them, and there's no euphemism to describe her. Even when the camera guy finds her when she's watching skating, she's not a blonde. She's just, I love it. She's much, but they do have good quality. So one thing that North Americans don't like about Russian skating, from a couple of skaters I've talked to, the Russian lifts, and now I'm watching this like a hawk, because Jillian was so ready for NHK that she and Bob have talking points ready for the press conferences, because Trankov always talks about them in the press conferences, and now they want to point out like why their elements are better, that they have been like practicing. They want to point out about their death spiral and the lifts. And I talked to a couple people, not just Jillian, about this with the lifts, is that North Americans really focus on making sure the lift goes end to end of the ice, and the Russians will go sometimes like blue line to blue line. Like, they're more concerned with the position than how much speed you get and how much distance you cover. So the one thing is, I do watch Tobulva and Klimov, and their lifts are very shallow and short. You know, they hit the positions, but they don't cover much, which means they don't have the same speed while he's covering her in the air. So it's something to watch whenever you watch the different lifts. You can point out, with the GOEs, how far are they really going? I mean, they hit some nice positions, unlike the Chinese teams, but they're not necessarily covering as much ice. But I did think they had her. Rosano is cheated on the second jump. They can, continue to work on that. It was at Skate America as well, but I love to see them go for it. So I'm excited when they skate. You always know something dramatic is about to happen. I don't know. How do you feel about them?
Yeah, I really like their short program here. I thought it was much better than Skate America. She had some issues in the long, obviously missing the sow cow, doing the single toe after the triple toe. They're good. I think things look better for them definitely than Skate America. I still don't think that they're quite at the level of some of the tip-top pairs, but this was definitely a step forward for them.
Step forward, but the other teams are coming to play. I thought the mark in the short program got a little out of hand, a little Cup of Russia. I mean, I think they got some positive GOE on twist, which is not appropriate. But I think that overall they do look much better than Skate America. I mean, how could they not? But they do look much, much better. What did you think about our team that is sticking around? Kavaguti and Smirnov.
I was surprised that they did the second throw quad in their long program. I wasn't expecting that. It was something where I don't like either how they have the quads like one right after the other. And I know Megan and Eric do this too, but there's at least with Megan and Eric, they're kind of on two different places in the ice. This is a lot of just that middle section of their program is just staying in the center. I love the program though, even though it's a second season of it. I love that they're telling a story and he gets so into it. So I thought this was good for them. Very good.
I don't like her hair. I do love the program, but I think the two quads in the middle is ruining it a little bit for me, especially when they miss it. The quads still look kind of like cheated to me. Like she's doing the first revolution still in his arms, and then he's like spinning her. It's not like a throw. Like when the Chinese do a throw, it's
it travels and they're going and they're
this
speed
is like we're playing like spinning, but this is
and it's so very up and down. There's not a lot of
I would be like so on the GOE taking off everything. I mean, to me, it's not the same as the other teams, the same quality. But I do like this team. I'm glad to see them sticking around and doing well. Well, what did you think about father and daughter? Because I know that you were sad that we didn't get to see their free skate.
Yeah, I love their costume in the free skate. I still don't get a lot of connection between the two of them. The elements are good. I mean, it was great to see them try a quad. It was close, but not quite there. She just needed a little bit more airtime to do that rotation. But they're a good, solid team. I just worry still about the consistency on the side-by-side jumps. But good. Do you agree or disagree?
Yeah, it was good this week. Not great, but it was good. It was good, and it was a solid effort. But I was really sad for Kirsten and Michael this week, and I felt like things went wrong in the short, especially before the throw, and I feel like their confidence going into the free, they just wasn't the same girl that we saw at Skate Canada. It looked like it impacted them. So I don't know. I hope that they can get their juju back before the next event. What did you think?
Yeah, I agree. It is tough, like watching her miss some of those jumps because she seemed very confident heading into the event, and sometimes something like that can throw you off and just have to focus. I still think that they're strong. I mean, there's a chance for them to win that silver medal at nationals, and hopefully they can kind of leave this behind them and focus onward for nationals as well. But kind of a disappointing long program for Valentina and Andre. Some of the struggles, the double lets in the long program, and then they also got downgraded on the triple south single toe side by side. Did you like seeing the program, the 70s program in the big arena? It was
less heinous than the first time we saw it, but it's ridiculous. But it's very Valentina.
The judges liked it, yeah. They got pretty high.
It's over the top, and it's her, but it's just, bless. But it's interesting. I was really curious how she was going to do, because I was kind of tipped off to her that someone told me, like, she likes a lot of attention, but she doesn't want the pressure of being the star. So she always liked that Carolina kind of had all the pressure and she was able to go and skate. And she also doesn't usually do back-to-back seasons. Like, she'll have a great season, the next season will be a little off, and then she'll come back again and have a great season. So it's like, how is she going to do is like, because they had such a strong year last year, and now their expectations, how is she going to do? And I noticed it's not quite as good as last year because she's like fighting it, but I think she's more comfortable with the guy next to her. And I think they are building. She seemed very disappointed to be in third at that point of the free skate before with skaters left to go. But I think, you know what, they didn't even do the free at Skate Canada, so this is a big step forward, and hopefully they won't be making those mistakes. Again, I think she's a good pair girl, and I think that they do have a future as a team. So it's going to be interesting to see. Hopefully they can upgrade the level of their twist and really become more competitive because they need to. But what did you think about Tara and Danny?
Better than Skate America. There are some really great qualities to their skating. Obviously not doing the throw quad sow here, but a great throw triple. The side-by-side triple sow in the long program was wonderful to see. She was my best dressed for that long program. Love that costume. It's good, but I still at this point may have Marissa and Mervin a little bit ahead of them, just consistency-wise. If they land that throw less, I mean, it comes down to the throws, too. They're only doing the double axel, I mean, I think points-wise, it's pretty much kind of the same. But I think, I don't know, I get more of a better skating skills.
Better skating skills.
Yeah, and
more consistent, typically.
Yeah, and they have a little bit more command over the ice than something like Tara and Danny, but Tara and Danny, great split, triple twist, the arm over their head. I mean, some of the throws are good if they're able to land them on one foot, and then obviously the side-by-sides as well. But I think it's going to be a fight for that second spot at Nationals. I don't see one clearly ahead of the other at this point. Do you?
No, but I like this, and I like their music. Jonathan Byer and Matthew Coulson they were throwing shade at me that Mr. Peterson picked this music for them with Barbara singing the role of the Phantom. Like, Barbara can sing what they want. It's beautiful. I think the music works for them, and I like them. They're a pleasant team to watch. They do have to work on their skating skills. She has a weird leg on her triple sow cow where she kind of like inverts her knee and like twists it on the kick on the way up. It's a little curious.
She does a little weird hop before her double axel. I've never seen a skater do that before. When she skates backwards, she hops and gets her body together. But
it's just interesting jump technique there. But I like them a lot as a team. I think they're improving. I think they do need to work on their skating, just the overall. With some of these teams, they fly across the ice and they're skating.
More power.
Yeah, more. But I think overall it's good. I thought the third Russian team here has a lot of potential for the future as well. But let's talk about the ice dance, Jenny, because I actually was up early and watching this. And I'm currently feeling about ice dance, I think the way like you feel about ice dance. Like I'm not checked in. Like this.
There's no star this season. I mean, Weaver and Poche, great that they beat Anna Luka, particularly after Anna Luka beat Madison and Evan, but I'm more enthused about the Shibutani's free dance of all the programs we've seen this season than anything that we saw here.
Yeah. I mean, I like Elena Ilyinik, and I like the Frida program.
Oh, it's growing on you? Because you weren't so sold.
I don't like the short dance, and Ruslan missed the twizzles, and I think they really
miss.
They need to get rid of the inside twizzles too, because they will start their twizzles like here, and then they like get like really close together, like it just looks sloppy to me. And then we'll talk about Nikita's twizzle in a second. So this is really interesting to me, is because she is the star. Like it's like she's like Angelina Jolie on the ice. Like it's like Elena Ilyinik. Like she's skating, like you're watching her. So she has the same kind of thing that Aljona has. Like it's not about the team, and it's not about the partner. Like don't get it twisted. Ruslan is a prop. Like he is holding her and lifting her until they can find someone better. If someone comes along. He needs to stop making faces, because he's just actually distracting, because I'm trying to watch her and I see that he's making facial expressions and he's like not tall enough that we would like him to be, and not like good enough for her. And like it's almost like distracting. Like he needs to be Sergei Grinkov, and Sergei was hot, but he presented Katya as like the star. The stem needs to let the flower shine, I think, in ice dance. And to me, like his facial, I find it distracting. I know people love them. There's like the Rostelecom thing, like they have like a subforum on Reddit or something. Like people have a whole thing about them, but because her mom posts on social media, so she gets people behind them. But the whole thing is like it's too much. Like he needs to let Elena shine and kind of fade a little bit and just be a strong man, because I find him a little distracting. I find with Nikita and Victoria, their twizzles are ridiculous, because so he starts like way out, like way behind her, like 6 paces back. And she's here. He not only catches up, but then passes her, which means that she's getting no ice coverage on her twizzles, like Weaver or like Madison Chuck. So he is like a much stronger skater. And I feel like their program, it's like a second-year program for a team. It's Josh Groban. It's nice, but it's just nice is nice. Like who cares? And one thing that Natasha was saying is that like Elena is like fire and Nikita's like ice, and that's why they were so exciting to watch together. But with Victoria and Nikita, like they're both kind of icy personalities, and it's just kind of like, they don't have that like real chemistry. I know they're together, and we see them as a couple, but to me, she's just like a blonde girl on the CW. Like she's like a Blake Lively or someone. Like she's like another blonde girl. Like she's forgettable. I think with the Canadians, I just don't. Both teams I don't like. I think the same thing with the Italians they have what Javier had, where they're happy all the time, and even their Carmen was like flirty happy, and they're happy, but it's just not, to me, they're placeholders, and I'm waiting for a team to step up for the future. I think going into the event with talent in Estonia, we had Aljona Savchenko and Bruno Massat to come back. Watching them, very excited. What did you think about that?
Yeah, they looked really good. I think that the side-by-sides were really, really strong. Obviously, the throws could use a little bit work on the landing, but it was a good first outing. I'm not so in love with the free skate music, like the costumes, but for the first time out, it was great seeing them perform.
Yeah, I think the one thing that's interesting is that their throws, he has such big throws, but they almost actually, and she's known for big throws, but these look too big for her to where she always has to land them on 2 feet. So I think that's going to be one thing they're going to have to work on. I don't see a lot of chemistry between them. It is about Aljona, but I'm such a fan. I'm so excited to watch her that I'm excited. I think they're going to be one of the top teams this season because they have a lot of good qualities. But let's talk about your boy, Max Aaron, coming back after a rough skate at Trophy Eric Lampard, winning this event here, doing the quad triple. How do you feel about your boy Max's chances for nationals? Is he the favorite?
Yeah, I think he seemed a lot more focused, definitely. In the short program here, much better. The long, I still think that they could add some transitions before the second triple axel after the second quad. It's a little bit of the arms, I know they've added some arm movements, but that's not really transitions in your feet. I mean, they could just add a little bit more bracket, choctaw. Yeah, a little bit more going on with his feet as opposed to his upper body, but he seemed more focused, and the back sit position is much improved. The back camel was better here, so I think at this point in the season, he is the top, I would say, American man heading into nationals. Just he's somebody that I have the most confidence in putting together. But I think it will all kind of rely on, or kind of come down to how he does in that short program. If he's able to skate a clean short, I think the long will be easy for him. Were you impressed with how he did here?
Oh, yeah, I was definitely impressed. I think he is my pick for the favorite going into nationals this year. I think that it is his season. No, I was really glad to see him come back after. I think it was uncharacteristic, the short for him this far at Trophy Equipart. I think that Max is really moving ahead, and I think that he has his mojo back in gear. So I think it's great to see him have this confidence going in, and there's still a chance for him to make the final. Obviously, with Jason pulling out of NHK, that gives him an even better shot going forward. But this year, Jenny Kirk watched sectionals with me, which was so exciting. I was so nervous for Carly Gold when she was skating. I don't usually get nervous for skating, but I was pulling for her. So great to see her win sectionals. What were your moments of sectionals this weekend?
Yeah, if there's ever a moment to be sick in bed, it's sectionals weekend. So it was great seeing her do so well. Also, Scott Dyer, whom we interviewed when we were in LA, great to see him do well and make the team. I liked watching some of the pair skaters and Easterns as well. Just all of these skaters that you don't realize. I mean, there's such a different crop underneath that's coming up. So it's good to see those and seeing the coaches that kind of I skated with, and now that they're coaching the skaters too. But it's very good to see Carly make nationals. Parabens. How about you?
Parabens, Carly. I thought that Shotaro Omori was a really beautiful skater. I really enjoyed watching him. I was hoping he placed actually a little higher in the men's event. And I think for Midwesterns, Vincent's seeing him do the triple axel for the first time, doing two of them, doing quad cell. Like, this is a confident boy. He went out there and nailed it. And Alex Johnson really put it together. I knew he was really nervous before the event. People were saying he was really rough in practice the week before in Colorado, and then he stepped it up and did a great long here. So overall, it was just a really fun event. So what was your moment of the week, Jenny Kerr?
My moment of the week was when the camera guy showed everybody in the audience. I mean, there was so much shade being shown there in Russia, so I like that. What about you?
Yeah, it had to be the Elaine Chartrand camera moment. Reaction of the guy and then the woman.
Yeah.
Going after Elaine Chartrand, take the triple axel out. It's not ready. And focus on skating really well. I think the talented skater needs for the future. But that really, unfortunately, was my moment of the week. I have never quite seen camera work like that before.
They kept it real, yeah.
Yeah, Cup of Russia, my favorite Grand Prix of the season thus far, calling it now. So as always, we have, pause. We have winners of the Icenetwork Challenge, Jenny Kirk.
Put them in a shoe. Yes.
In case we needed to puke in the shoe mid-show, as I thought was going to happen during the ice dance. That's why
I'm sorry, guys. I feel so sick.
It's okay.
All right, so we have 5 winners that can win this Icenetwork. And we're going to do this again before Nationals, right, Dave?
Yes.
So they have another chance.
We're giving away 5 now, and we're giving away 5 again before Nationals.
So I put all the names in my boot. All right, drum roll. The first winner is Erica Burns. Erica Burns.
Ooh, Erica Burns.
So if we call your name, email us at theskatinglesson@gmail.com. Second winner is Emma Gubbles. I hope I'm pronouncing everybody's names right. Third winner is... I picked out 2. Okay, so this person didn't have a first. It's called Classy Skates. I don't know. That was your Twitter name, so I don't know your real name, but Classy Skates, email us. Fourth, Joseph Kirkland, nice last name.
Joseph Kirkland, he comments on our Facebook, yes.
And our final winner is Melissa Liddell.
Melissa Liddell. Parabens,
Melissa. To everybody. And you guys, if we didn't call your name, if you didn't win, you can obviously play again. We'll probably have a different question, though, for the next round. But congratulations to everybody for winning this week. Again, play with us, Puritans, Puritan.com. Help us with our GoFundMe so that we can go to Nationals, and we'd like to see so many of you there.
Yeah, and as always, I want to remind you that when you go to a senior Grand Prix, tuck your shirt in and win, hold an edge, and look sexy.
Bye, guys.
Bye.